going on, grinders? Good Monday morning. Glad to be with you all. I'm excited because I get to kind of work on something that, and probably one of the only things that I really think that really hold a lot of agents back, especially very early on. After you've obviously gotten through the first of your learning curves, let me tell you, there will be learning curves to this business. And I've gotten a chance to go through them, right? And I've gotten a chance to kind of find myself on the other side of them, learn the lessons, make the mistakes so you don't have to. And so, that being said, as we get started, I want to remind you, if you hadn't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I want to talk a lot more about these lessons that I learned. Make sure that you hit that bell. That bell's up there for a reason. It's going to alert you every time we release something. Every single Monday morning when we put out a new video, it will be there. It's going to ring for you, and you're going to get a chance to be the first to hear this, to share it. And the last thing that I'll ask is that you should share it, right? You just get out, you share it with the people that you know that it'll make a difference if they were to hear this today, okay? Making sure it's super valuable. One of the biggest learning curves in the business is getting through this whole phase of going from brand new agent to actually getting paid, right? We all came into this business to get paid, to actually get paid, to know that there's money going in the bank account, our bills are paid, we're not stressed out. That's what we came here for. We need to earn a living. We don't get paid to practice, so to speak, right? A lot of times in the very beginning, one of the most frustrating things that can happen for you is that you do all the work, you go through the objections, you end up booking some appointments. Man, you even had a time like where you went through and you couldn't get those appointments to show up, and all of a sudden, like, now you've done the work that it takes, and it seems like things are moving in the right direction. You're getting people to show up to your meetings, and you even closed a sale. You put the application in, you submitted it to the carrier, and now we wait, right? And 2 days later, we get an email that says, declined. One of the most frustrating things is to do all of that work, right? To spend the money on leads, to do everything that it takes to get this policy on the books, and then it comes back with a decline. What did I miss, right? And really, what can you learn? And so, I've had my share of declines, lots of them. Cool thing I want everybody to kind of understand is that it's not the end of the world, right? That you get an opportunity to go out and do what your license empowered you to, and that's to find a way to get this family protected, to really make a difference in their life, and to get deposit in your own bank account, make a difference in your immediate situation. That's key. It's key. So what are some of those things that we can do to avoid the good old decline email? Is exactly what we're going to be discussing. So as we get into it, the most important stage of this entire process is going to be how effective you are when you're on the phone and asking all the right questions, right? And so some people, and myself included, when I got started, I would ask if you got any health history, so any heart attacks or cancers or anything like that, and they go, no, nothing. And I'm in pretty decent shape. I actually seen the doctor the other day, and they said I was as healthy as they've seen them. It's funny how everybody's that healthy, and then I didn't know to dig into that, right? And so here I am thinking I've got a completely 100% healthy as a horse because they told me that's what their doctor told them. And I get there, we write the application, 2 days later, it comes back, nothing, right? Declined. I didn't ask all the questions. I took their word on that they were healthy as a horse, right? And so I learned to follow up with, have you ever had heart attack, cancer, stroke, open heart surgery? Have you ever had COPD? Taken any mental health medications? Have you had any speeding tickets or any moving violations? All the things that I understand that the application is going to ask? I want to ask those questions. I want to ask, has a doctor prescribed you any medications? Not are you taking medications? Those are two different questions, right? I'll ask somebody if they're taking medications, and that person will say no, right? And we run the application, and based on their medical information bureau report, their pharmaceutical report, they don't qualify. They're declined. Like, you're not taking any medication? Oh, well, I'm not taking any, but the doctor prescribed them. And so it's being specific, super specific, when you're on the phone, asking the tough underwriting questions. Yes, we're in the moment, we're excited, we've got somebody on the phone, they're going to book an appointment with me, they let me finish out my script, I get it, but we got to slow it down, ask the tough questions on the phone about their health. Make sure that you're not left blind to the fact that they had, 3 stents 15 years ago. No big deal. They're healthy. They work every day. Well, your insurance carrier may not feel like that's no big deal, right? And so we've got to ask those questions. From there, the work really can start. Now I can go in, and if you're fortunate enough to work with the same group that I work with, we can go in, I can type in their information, and it'll tell me what products are best for them. But even then, we want to do our due diligence. So something that everybody can do is that you can find the carriers that you're working with, the ones that you're contracted with, the ones that you feel like they've got a best shot at it, and you look at their agent guide, right? That's the second thing that we really got to do, is that we've got to take a swing at looking inside of that agent guide, see what it is from what you've uncovered that agent guide will lead you to finding out. Are they on dialysis? Is it a knockout, right? Are they taking a medication that could treat cancer? Are they taking a dual purpose medication that could be used for blood pressure, but it also could be used for heart, right? And how is that company going to look at that? After I've been able to go into that agent guide, I can narrow this down. This is going to work, or no, they're taking this medication. It says that it's automatic decline. Move to the next carrier. Follow that same process. Your agent guide is going to be your friend, but that's not where it stops, right? So from there, one of the easiest things, the most simple things that you can do is you can find a copy of that carrier's application. The application, I've heard it said the app is the map, right? And so understanding that with the application, if I can go through and answer no to these questions based on what I've uncovered on the phone. I'm not there with the client yet, I'm just doing my research, but based on what I've uncovered over the phone, does it look like I'm going to have to answer yes anywhere in that application? If I need to answer yes, and I'm working with a simplified issue, instant decision type carrier, I may as well look elsewhere. Stop looking at that carrier, because it's going to be an automatic decline. The thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to avoid getting the decline in the first place. And so let's not go there. Let's not submit it and hope that maybe the carrier is going to look at it a different way. It's in their underwriting guide. It's already on the application. You've got to answer yes to that question. Pivot and let's go somewhere else. Right? Now, if you are with a carrier and they don't necessarily have an instant decision, it's going to go to an underwriter at the end of it. One of the cool things about that, and in any case really, is you want to go ahead and do a risk assessment. You want to call that carrier up, and you want to say, hey, my name is Jeremy, and I'm looking at a case. I've got a 61-year-old. Here's their height and weight. Here are their medications. Here's the history that I know about. This is the product that I'm looking at. What's our likelihood? Right? Those underwriters, a lot of times on the other end of that phone, will do whatever they can to help you to get that business issued, because they also get paid when business gets issued. That's part of their job, is getting so many cases through there. And so they want to help you get that stuff done. It's simple as calling and asking the questions. A lot of times the underwriter will go ahead and tell you, hey, I would ask the client this, and that, And as long as they don't answer this way, they're good, right? And if they don't give you that type of advice, then you ask for that type of advice. If I were you and you were me, you're sitting in front of this client, what questions would you be asking? And they will tell you what questions they'd be asking, what they would be looking for. Risk assessment is key. It's key. Another quick tip is in the application itself, everything checked out. I'm going through here. I got to answer yes, but it's going to see an underwriter. I need to be really, really detailed with the information that I'm talking to about the client, because now I'm really selling my client to the insurance carrier on why this should be a good fit, right? Well, why their health should fit the underwriting guidelines, why it is that it's not as bad as it looks, right? And giving them a fighting chance, an opportunity to actually view this person as a acceptable risk and get that client, that family covered. If you'll go through the process of uncovering, really asking good questions on the phone, right? Number 2, the agent guide, pulling that thing out, looking at build charts, right? What's the height and weight need to be? What medications can they not have in order to be able to get this product? Number 3, looking at that application, asking yourself before you meet with the client, based on the good information, detailed information I got on the phone, what is this person's chance of actually being approved? Going through that application, answering no to everything based on the real, evidence that you've got from the phone that you've uncovered. Do the risk assessment, especially when you're still not sure, especially if there may be a yes answer on there or some gray area where wording is really important. Make sure you're calling and getting that risk assessment done. And there again, the 5th thing we said is make sure we're taking really good notes on that application. Make sure that we are detailed as possible when we're giving this feedback to the actual insurance carrier so that they can give our client the best shot at being approved. Listen, this will solve some problems if you'll do it. Taking some notes, sharing this with your team. If you got a team, this is one of the things that big teams or even small teams struggle with. We want to help. Listen, it's Monday. Let's go out and make the magic happen. Magic Monday, Money Monday. We'll see you next episode.